other formats are already doing what other formats are doing. We need there to be a different thing. We want there to be a different thing. And we knew, I suspected that there were other people that message was going to resonate. The number of people with whom the message resonated were orders of magnitude larger than I ever expected. Like there's a reason Commander became the most popular Magic format ever, and I think the internal message is a significant part of that. I think that you don't need to be the best player. You don't need to be highly competitive. All you need to have is a desire to have a good time with some other people. And that makes you a successful Commander player. And like I said, way more people put their arms around that than I ever thought. And I'm certainly not sad about it. Right. The fact that we could help make a lot of people very, very happy speaks to me on a very deep level.
Absolutely. And I don't know, so I'm going to ask. Have you ever thought about like things like what would keep Commander going for another 50 years, or what would be a series of events that might make that? Well, I guess first of all, is that even something that you're concerned about, like long-term longevity of Commander? And if it is, do you think about what are the potential events that could not make that happen? Like, I guess it's a kind of longevity question, really. But is that something that you put any thought behind, or
Absolutely.
As a collective you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. This is certainly something that I've spent a lot of hours thinking about. I think we're at sort of at the legacy point. Like I really want to think about tomorrow, and not necessarily just because that either my tomorrow might be threatened. It's that it's at the point, like it's it's a natural maturity point now. We've conquered the world. Now what do we do?
Right.
And I want us to do the next great thing for Commander that we can do, whatever that is, and provide for its longevity is one of those things, which is the reason, a significant reason that we added 2 people to the Commander Rules Committee last year. Olivia and Jim are a couple of decades younger than I am, and I guess are a couple of decades younger than most of us. They're the kind of great leaders that I think will be able to shepherd the format into its future. Then collectively, we're going to sit with them and discuss what that future might be. Like, what do we want that future to be? I mean, personally, I think that the next thing that the Rules Committee can do is provide value-added service to the community. Like, we don't need to acquire Commander players anymore. Not that we ever actually needed to very much.
Yeah, it's kind of organic, right? Yeah.
Right. But at this point, like, momentum is just going to carry us forward with acquisition. Commander for now is the way that people are getting involved in just playing Magic in general. So, how do we now make things better for everybody that is coming on board or that's already on board? So I think that things like helping provide tools for developing the language necessary to navigate games in environments, in unfamiliar environments. When you go to Command Fest and you're playing with people that you don't know, how do you have that pre-game conversation? What are some arrows that you can put into your quiver for that? Is the kind of thing that we can help with, and we can certainly continue to be advocates for a certain style of play. Again, the this is not tournament play kind of play, and that's a message that needs to keep getting reinforced, because new players come in, many of them come from tournament formats and want to bring a tournament mentality. Well, tournament mentality is fine, but that's over there. We're doing something different over here.
Right.
Again, we're considering the collective experience as opposed to the individual experience.
Right.
And we want to develop some tools to make sure that folks can find the best experience wherever they are. Mm-hmm. And I want to see if there is room for us to do things like sub formats. We've had a lot of fun with most of the fun that I've had in Commander games, some of the best fun I've had in Commander games the past several years have been in power limited environments, have been in playing Boxing League, or we did Innistrad Plane Constructed and had some fun with it, or pre-EDH, which is nothing is legal from the time Commander product was released forward. So New Phyrexia is the latest set that you can build anything from. Which is what I played with. Brian and I played with Cedric from One More Mana and Professor on Shuffle Up and Play, which was a good time. Or just playing the pre-constructed decks together have been a blast. So sub-formats are a thing that I really want to think about. And then kind of just like, what else can we, what good work can we do in the community? What can we do to promote new content creators? Like, existing content creators have their audiences and they're fine, and and we want to support them and do what we can for them. But I think we also have a responsibility to grow the next generation of content creators. And how do we find them? Well, we go look, right? We have to actively spend time both finding and encouraging them and providing opportunity for them.
Right.
Whether that's having them as guests on our stream, being guests on their streams, whatever it is that we can do to do that. And I think especially for people from traditionally marginalized groups, I think it's a good idea for people in the leadership group to say, no, we want everybody here. So let's talk to folks about how we can get new content creators, and maybe even how folks might develop the skills that they need to possibly step into a commander advisory group role someday, or the spaces are few and far between, but you never know, even into a rules committee role someday. So if we can help people develop skills which have more than just applications for commander, by the way, it's about social skills, and it's about working with groups of people. So any help we can give there, I would be very, very happy to. So moving into just doing more community-based work, I think, is something that is in our both near and long-term future.